and welcome to 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is Future Ready. We're excited that Microsoft gave us the opportunity to speak in this session here at Ignite. This session allows us to give you a peek into what we're doing and where we're going with our Future Ready portfolio. My name is Brandon Rebbe. I'm the Director of Microsoft Solutions for 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, and along with me today, I have Jay.
Hello, I'm Jay McArdle. I'm Head of Product for all video solutions for 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. I've got from webcams to room-based systems, PC and Android, audio and control.
Awesome, and it's great to have you here, Jay. What I want to do, I'm just going to jump right into it and kick this off. So Jay, as you well know, Plantronics, Polycom, Poly, and now 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, we've been creating solutions for Microsoft collaboration for a long time, which has resulted in a pretty large portfolio of products available to our customers. You know, as we move forward, the problems that I think we were solving yesterday with our products may not be some of the same problems we're trying to solve today or even in the future. Can you talk a little bit about like how our future ready products maybe could help solve problems today and possibly some of those ones we talk about that we may not know about in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like as you mentioned there, Brandon, like 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is in such a unique position, right? Because we have not only do we have the compute and is a world-class and leader in compute platform in HP, we have world-class like legacy and heritage within Plantronics and headsets and room-based solutions and video and within the Polycom, right? So coming all together as 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, we're in such a unique position and a unique perspective to solve all these problems. So some of the things that we're solving today is like when the world's changing, when you have this hybrid workforce, that there is a return to work, there is a return to meet, there is a change in dynamic that we're all supposed to be on video and we're all supposed to be available and working from wherever we are, and we're all supposed to be contributing and engaging from wherever we are. So I think that you're starting to see some of those solutions with some of the new camera technologies that we're bringing out of my team, some of the new innovations that you're seeing from the headset team with the boomless mic for open office areas with the Surround 80. I think that seeing the HP compute there and some of the new solutions that we're bringing to market that we've announced in the past few weeks or the past quarter has been like the R30 Plus, so that you can take an HP dock and have a single USB-C connection into your laptop, so that when you sit down at your office, wherever your office may be, whether it's at home, whether it's at the physical office, that you can have one connection that does power, does USB, that does video, that does all of those things. And I think that, you know, kind of being future ready means that we're prepared to deal with what the future, whatever it holds for you. And I think that, you know, for us to be uniquely positioned with being able to have that compute and that whole perspective of end to end of your notebook, and your notebook is part of how you work. It's an integral portion of how you work, sitting at your desk. And how does that interface with, you know, your environment? How does that interface with your peripherals and your headsets? How does it interface with your cameras? And then as you take it in, and how does it interface in the meeting room itself, right? So so at 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, we're constantly thinking about that interaction between humans and technology, and between the humans and their environments and the technology and their environments. So looking at all of those things under that lens and under that perspective is key to the success.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I think one of the other things I get asked a lot by our customers is how's the merger going? One of the, you know, I remember like it was this time Ignite last year when we were saying, hey, we're merging and being acquired by HP. And I have people ask me all the time, like, how's it going? And from my standpoint, like the person who takes care of certifications and engineering and like that back and forth, it's been fantastic for me because we have so many more resources. You know, we have a team of people who test some of the things that either myself and a small team used to test before. When it comes to product and like and what we're able to do, has that merger helped the product team?
Yeah, no, there's a couple big things that kind of everybody wants to talk about, like, okay, great, how's it going to work, and how's your features, and oh, you got this huge engineering org, and now you have all these PCs, and you have all of this stuff. So it's fantastic, and it's kind of like where's Waldo, right? Because you got to kind of go around and look into this huge picture and find out who the appropriate resource is that can help you with that, right?
Yeah.
And so But once you find them and you can plug in, everybody's super willing to work and wants to roll up their sleeves. I think that the other things that get a little bit lost in that though too, is like HP sustainability, right? So going into this, the larger HP has done so many things to prepare for a sustainable product line, with contracts with their ODMs, with manufacturing, just like understanding and getting the appropriate materials for post-consumer recyclable materials, whether it be plastics, whether it be aluminum, and getting that supply chain set up, which is no small feat, right? And trying to make sure that we have all of the cardboard for our packages so that we can truly lean in, and everything's already set up for us. And so those are things that you're going to see us lean into very hard. And we'll start to market around that, some of the things that we're doing, but that's a huge benefit for now and for the future of our planet, right? That we're making sure that we are leaning in and being a good steward. And so those are some of the unseen things that get talked about less as far as like the integration. I think from the engineering teams, from the product teams, from the process, all of those things have been good. There's been bumps, right? Like full transparency, there's bumps like as you go through this, as you would have with any large companies. But by and large, it's been a really good merger of cultures, and it's been a really good culture fit for us.
Yeah, I see the same thing, and it talks the story of video at scale and collaboration at scale, right? Like it's as Poly, like we sold to all the countries, we had all of these things, but my take is that HP takes that scale to a different arena for us, right? Of whether you're the person from purchasing of a large corporation saying, I need to have this home kit with a USB camera that's certified for Teams, a laptop that works with Teams, and I want a single SKU, ship it to me. We have that ability now, internally. I think it's huge for our customers.
Yeah. And I think just to, like on that with it's like the benefit for the customers and the benefit, like whoever the customer may be in that chain, right? So from a purchasing from large corporations to have one vendor to go through and issue PO, from IT, from one vendor to support and from notebook, from desktop, from monitor to headset to room solutions, right? To the end user of, hey, there's magic happens when I use my HP Dragonfly notebook with my Voyager 360 headsets, and then when I walk into a Poly X52 room, right? Like that's all like that whole chain is magic at this point.
Yeah. So I think one of the things at Poly, like we always strived to impact the customers and the end users directly with our products. Especially when it comes to Microsoft Teams, because it really is like I may be selling to an admin or a facilities department, but it's really like the person who's hitting the call button, right? That I want to affect their day, and whether they're utilizing phones, they're utilizing headsets, video products, or and as now like HP PC solutions globally. Can you talk about how we look at the portfolio that way to make sure that it's not only good for like admins and management and facility and purchasing, but really like it helps affects our customers and has a positive impact on them directly?
Yeah, no, I think that like everything in product management in my world starts and ends with the customer, and it starts and ends with the customer's journey. Like how is it going to affect them? What problems are we solving? We don't make solutions that look for problems. We're trying to make solutions based on customer problems to solve those things. So when you start to take a look at those things of like, how do you walk into a room with your HP notebook and eliminate the variables? Right. And how do we make that connection better? Because we control the notebook, we control the room-based solution. We look at those things of like, okay, great. I want to be able to walk in with my notebook, hit join on my notebook to be able to start a meeting within the larger room. And the room just has to work, right? It has to be able to be configured. It has to be able to find me. It has to bridge that digital divide between me in the room and wherever anybody is anywhere else. Right. And so we're looking at it from a room's perspective. We have to do those things, and we have to take and that's simple from that journey of how do I walk into a room and start the meeting. But then you're actually looking at the meeting and you're looking at from the other end. So great, that's connected. Now the person on the far end is connected and they're sitting at their home office. And okay, great. I want to make sure that the person in the room, in this boardroom full of people, can't hear my dog like barking in the background because the mailman just showed up. Yeah. So we have like noise block and acoustic fence and all of those things. And so you can confidently, when you're using 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀 gear, sit there and have your meeting and be able to stay focused on your meeting and not be worried about all of the things that are in the environment around you because of the technology that you're using. And that's what technology should do. It should just fade to the background and allow you to connect with people, right? And the more that you have to interface with the technology and the more that you're aware of the technology, the worse that we're doing. And so, really maintaining that focus of what are the technologies and what are those unseen, unheard things that just happen that make you feel better about it, that let you relax to go into the meeting. And so whether it's from joining your meeting, whether it's taking the call, whether it's, having that crystal clear audio going through, have it being framed up so that you don't have to worry about, can the camera see me, or any of those other different types of things. Those are all parts of the journey. Those are all things that we're working strategically with Microsoft on how do we make that experience better and more seamless.
Yeah, and it's about being comfortable with the things that are in front of you. Like, you and I come from the AV background where things are super complicated and people were scared to go in and touch the thing in the room to make the thing work because they knew it or thought it wasn't going to work. I think familiarity between our products, like with my R30 that's sitting in front of me right now, it has noise block AI turned on and it has acoustic fence. I know it does. And if something's going on next to me over here with my kids, I don't worry about this being interacted with that. So it makes me more comfortable when I'm talking, presenting, doing this type of thing. The same thing happens in a room where the same poly technology is in that room. And if something's going on outside the room and you can hear it through the windows, you can hear it through the walls, you should be comfortable enough knowing and presenting in the room, doing what you were there to do, that the technology has your back, right? It's the same thing. Like, this works at my house, so I know it's going to work here. And it's the same thing that works on my headset. It should be the same thing across.
Yeah, and as we're introducing new features like poly perimeter, then we're extending it from voice into video, and so that you don't have to worry about somebody walking by, right? Or get the distraction, because there's nothing worse than somebody calling you out on the far end of like, what is that? Like in a public meeting. And so trying to make sure that we remove the ability for failure and public failure in particular, right? And so like really leaning into that comfort and that safety.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always that meeting room that has glass walls and there's people walking by and like somebody stops and waves and like tries to distract everybody in the room, like not knowing that we're there to present and we're trying to focus. I think that video perimeter really helps with that. And it also takes a lot of that distraction from the far end. So like at the end of the day, like we want to make products that solve problems for our customers. I think that statement kind of leads me into the conversation of how far out do we look at our solutions and how are we looking to solve problems we don't know about yet?
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic question. So we're on a product life cycle of a now, next, and next, right? Mm-hmm. And so we start to take a look at what does it look like? What do we have today? What do we have tomorrow? And what do we have that we don't even know about yet? And how are we planning for that? And how are we strategically aligning for that with our vendor partners, like our component manufacturers and all of those things? So we're constantly staying up to date on what's the latest chipset to enable AI and what are those different from a hardware and from a just silicon standpoint. We have distinguished technologists that are looking at our silicon strategy and working like that ability combined with HP silicon strategy and like the scale to kind of go back to there, that gives us a farther view into the future than we ever had at Poly, simply because like the scale, and people need to pay attention more to us at scale and understanding how is that going to work within a PC world, how is that going to work in volumes of millions as opposed to volumes of tens of or hundreds of thousands. We have our CTO group and our future customer experience group that's looking at those things and prototyping those things. Product management's out meeting with customers, trying to figure out what the pains of the office are today. Because typically when you figure out and you can actually like figure out what the problem is, if it requires a new product, like you're going to be in a 12 to 18 month cycle to be able to bring that solution in, validate it, test it, get it to market. So it's not like something you can figure it out and spin a product in a matter of a couple days. right? And so so we're looking at those things and just trying to figure out, okay, great, how do we bring those things in? How do we solve those problems? So we're all so to say that we're looking at problems 18 months in the future and the products and stuff, all of those things, that's a day-to-day. That's kind of more of the now type of a thing.
Yeah.
But we are looking at those things that are that 3 years, that 5 years out. How are people going to change? How are people going to communicate differently? What technologies are on that verge of being super disruptive to the way that we do work? And I think that, making sure that we're engaged with the right partners at Microsoft, making sure that we're engaged with the right partners, at our silicon manufacturers, making sure that we're involved with our right partners within HP, right? To make sure that we know what is the overall strategy, and so that we can solve that end-to-end solution, right? Because that's key to this, is the end-to-end solution, from the time that you sit down in front of technology to the time you walk away from technology, for the day. We want to make sure that we manage that experience.
Yeah, and if you talk about that partnership with Microsoft, right, I have more involvement in that as well, where your product group is meeting with the product group at Microsoft to talk about some of these problems, right? Like AI is one of those things that everyone talks about, but what does it actually mean? Like, what are we actually going to do with it? We have all these tools and it's going to be awesome, but how do we put all that together to make some type of experience for a customer that makes technology, again, easier to use? We partner with Microsoft on the engineering level of looking at what's the next silicon, what's the next, how are we going to shape the OS better? How are we going to do those things better together over the next 18 months? So when you're talking about planning, and Jay says that, that goes to my team and my group, and we say, how do we get that to Microsoft to make sure that we're all aligned and make sure we're all on the same page for these future experiences?
And I think that, to touch on that, because it's a great thing, is AI is such this big thing. It's not a singular thing. And so trying to figure out where the AI strategy is, and with Microsoft, and these are things that were in conversations that, Greg and I from Microsoft are in conversations, that Ilya and team are in conversations about, as far as where does it make sense strategically for Microsoft to provide AI benefits for HP Poly, on the edge devices? Where is it enabling? Where is it best implemented by whom? Right? There's not going to be one company that's going to solve AI, right? And so it's not, and AI is not a singular problem that's oh, I've got the AI, and now everything works in my conference room, and everything works on my notebook, and everything works here.
Yeah.
It is multiple layers and multiple levels. And so when we start talking about how are we going to have an augmented experience, how are we going to allow computers to help make decisions better, faster for us, that all depends on where that algorithm lives, what the silicon, and what makes sense. And there's going to be a lot of things that are going to make sense to do it in the cloud. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be done in the application layer. There's going to be some stuff that needs to be done on the iron, right?
Mm-hmm.
For us to be able to do those things, and to be able to have that strategic conversation and have those strategic partners at Microsoft is key. So that we're not trying to work on the same problem and conflicting and doing all of these things, so that we can leverage it so the customer gets the ultimate benefit.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think, to summarize on my side, right, we're getting down to the end of our session time. So for me, our customers and partners, we want to make products that make a difference in the users who interact with them. Whether those user personas are purchasing, or it's deployment, the installers, the support, the people who support it, all the way down to the person who makes that call better. We want to make their day happy, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want them to think of Poly and say, yep, that's what I'm looking for. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're trying to make your day better. We're trying to make your life better. We're trying to make the planet better, right? So as we start to go through those, we're trying to make sure, as in each one of those journeys, that we're being a good steward of your time, being a good steward of your resources. We know it's hard-earned money that's being spent, right? So we're trying to make sure that we're making the most cost-effective solutions for the problem, but we have to solve the problem, right? And so those are all the things that we want to take a look at, is make sure that we stay focused on solving problems, make sure that we are being a good steward.
Awesome. I want to thank everyone for joining our session today. I hope it gives you some insight into, what we're doing here at HP Poly to make sure that we're future ready for you, our customers. Please come visit us at our booth at the Microsoft Ignite Expo. And we also have a meeting space at the Hyatt Olive H, showing some of our customer solutions and our experiences. And we look forward to seeing all of you. Thank you very much.
Sounds good. Thank you.